Today, I'll be climbing and fishing secret waterfalls in search of picture-perfect wild trout on the fly. This is a popular area, yet it turns out these natural wonders were hiding just out of sight of the average explorer. It's peak autumn color in Colorado, and today is going to be one of the best days of fishing I've had all year. My ultimate goal today is to end up on a creek that dumps into the main river near camp. I've never been up this creek, and satellite imagery isn't giving up too many details. I really have no idea what I'll find. For now, I end up on the river close to where this little creek enters and begin fishing my way up. The water is gorgeous. It's clear as can be, and everything pops against the dark rocks lining the bottom. The first hole I come to is surprisingly deep. There we go. First fish in the morning. Looks like a nice little rainbow. Pretty fish too, all spotted up. Wow, look at those gill plates. I am itching to get to my destination, but a pocket this fishy deserves another few casts at least. Spunky little dude here. Little brown. 2 species in the first hole. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube channel member. There's some seriously cool perks, it's not too expensive, and genuinely helps support me. Links are in the description. Thanks for the consideration. Listen to that Yari sing. I freaking love this rod. A little bit of fiberglass in the blank. The Tenkara Rodco Yari. This thing is made in Japan and just absolutely gorgeous. I knew I'd be dealing with some small to medium-sized fish today, so wanted a rod that was nice and playful and fun. Gave me a full bend, and that certainly does that. Got ourselves another little rainbow here. Ooh, they just keep coming, guys. Incredible morning out here so far. Catching these beautiful rainbow trout in such a beautiful place. What more could you ask for, really? Oh, that was a nice rainbow there. I didn't see my indicator move at all. He just came up, slowly ate it, and I just saw him kind of swimming up near the surface, you know, kind of near the tip of my line. Set the hook, and there he was, but couldn't keep him. I think we'll find another fish, though. This is a pretty good looking pool here. As long as we didn't spook him. There we go. Oh, and he popped off. I think that was actually a colored up brook trout too. Would have been cool to get my third species of the day here. Dang. Yeah, I think that was a pretty nice, relatively large, big colorful brook trout there. I never did end up landing a fish in this hole, but that's okay because this day is about to take a turn. Literally, to the left and up this creek that was just out of sight from the previous perspective. It's pretty slow going, but honestly, I'd always rather explore a new place than fish the same waters a second time anyways. Hopefully that'll pay off for me here. The creek's been dammed up by some beavers at this point. It's so cold, but I still opt for the watery path. Bushwhacking through the willows and spruce was getting old. The water got shallower as I walked along, and eventually it transitioned back into a skinny little gravel-lined creek. The first few holes at this point were not looking good at all, though. The water was crazy low. I kept moving. I spotted a trio of brook trout in this pocket, one of which was decent sized for such tiny water. Unsurprisingly offended by my camera, they weren't having it and spooked off under some down timber. The water was starting to look a little more promising though. It was moving faster and had some decent little pockets here and there. After a quick hydration break, I rounded the next bend. There was a growing rumble. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. This trickle of a creek had transformed into something entirely different. This massive waterfall was easily 20 feet tall, stepping down angular ledges into a deep pool. It's wild how a little topography can change the nature of a place. I've always wanted to film a series of videos where I try to catch trout at the base of waterfalls. It would be less about the fish really and more about the destination. This idea was more of an Appalachian thing, where I used to live, in Virginia. When I lived there, I was always hiking to and photographing these iconic places. They were the crown jewel of a landscape. Out west, they don't have the same appeal, to me at least. I think the water, the mountains, the wildlife, it's all so epic out here that waterfalls, however inspiring, get a bit overshadowed. But whatever the reason, I was feeling very inspired by this set of falls. I wanted to catch some fish in this pool. Yes. Come on, baby. Oh, come on, come on. There we go. The whitewater didn't stop there. I climbed up and over the falls and onto the next promising hole. This place had really turned out to be quite pretty. In no time at all, I had come across another decent set of falls. This one a long, shallow slide into a little pocket. It seemed like there could be fish here, although the gradient was pretty dang high both above and below this pool. I fished for a bit, but couldn't get a bite. Let's take a peek underwater and see what we can find. I couldn't see much looking upstream directly at the falls. There was tons of bubbles and the water was pretty shallow here. Let's check the back of the pool. Can you see it? A beautiful, wild brook trout. Entering from the back, hiding under the rocky shelf in the deepest part of the pool, and then swimming off. I think it's fair to say I had already spooked this fish, but it was still cool to see him surviving in this turbulent, isolated habitat. I mentioned the dark-colored rocks that make up much of this area earlier. In autumn, they provide such a nice contrast to the colorful leaves all around. This leaf, freshly fallen, still had its waxy, hydrophobic coating intact. Next to the splash zone, the drops of water formed perfect little pools that glistened in the sunlight. The water itself glistened too. Here, a shallow veil of it moves and dances over the rocks. Constantly changing, always interesting. There were fossils too. These ones, some large clams. I fished for the next couple hours with not a single bite. They were in here, no doubt, but it seemed not in large numbers. I was enjoying the sights though. It's really hard to have a bad time in a place like this. As I continued upstream, I eventually came across the biggest waterfall of the day. And it turns out, this is where most of the trout were hiding. It was pretty hard to see my line as I fished directly into the setting sun, but the spectacle of backlit water dancing down the slope's surface was a prize greater than any single fish. What a sight. That's not to say I didn't keep trying though, and the brookies were numerous enough and ferocious enough that I easily caught more. There we go. Nice brook trout. Even nicer waterfall. What a freaking epic spot. Never thought I'd find all these waterfalls today. It's been such a great day. By the way, I've been using a size 10 jig streamer for most of these fish today. For predators like these, and honestly just about any species of trout, it's all you need. This feels like a nice brookie. Oh yeah. Gorgeous. This day of fishing stands out as one of my favorites of the entire season. To feel like a kid again, exploring this unknown to me stretch of water, to witness numerous waterfalls, and all of this during a warm, late fall day. My favorite part of fishing is, and always will be, the places that it brings me. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.